It's little Landy, baby! Ah! What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another F1 Diecast review. It has been quite a long time since I have made one of these, so hopefully nothing breaks and nothing goes wrong in this video. What the fuck? It just broke. What the shit? We are looking at another 2020 car. This time it is a Minichamps car, the first 2020 Minichamps I'll be looking at this year. It is Lando Norris's MCL35 from the Austrian Grand Prix. His first podium in F1, which is timely because he just got his second podium in F1 not too long ago, depending on when this video comes out. Pretty excited about this car because it is a McLaren, and I do not have a super large collection of McLaren model cars. You may have saw in the background for like 1 second. The only other McLaren F1 diecast I have is the Fernando Alonso cough cough final start, but he just scored points in Imola, so we know how well that went. His final start at the time. That's the only other McLaren car I have, and so I'm pretty excited to get into this one, and there's really no reason to delay, so let's get into it right away. Ah, shit, I didn't bring a screwdriver down. Do. That was kind of stupid, but I think I'm going to put that in the video. And here is the car off of the base. As I previously mentioned, this is a Minichamps car. I know in my question video, that's a weird thing to call it. I know I said I usually prefer to buy the Sparks if a Spark model is available, but I mean, it's out there. Like, the Minichamps are just like a lot. They're still better than the Sparks. They're close, but the Minichamps are still better. And so I decided to go with the Minichamps on this one. It is a very nice looking car, at least so far, but we've only just started looking at it. I'm going to start today by talking about the Halo. I know the Halo is a super random thing to talk about first because it's not 2018 anymore. The Halo is not new. But the reason I'm talking about the Halo is because the little rainbow on it, that's stuff like that is kind of why I've been holding off on buying some of these 2020 cars. This rainbow stuff right here. There was a huge gap between pre-season testing and the first race in 2020, and a lot of cars changed. For example, in the extreme case, like Mercedes in pre-season testing, they had a silver car, but for the actual season, their car was black, obviously. This is a very subtle difference. There were no rainbows on the car in pre-season testing, but they had rainbows on McLaren once the season actually started, because we know a lot of stuff happened around the world, and F1 did have that We Race as One initiative. So I wasn't interested in getting the cars that didn't actually race, the cars that were in preseason testing. So I've sort of been waiting around for some of the actual raced cars to come out, which has been a little while. The black Mercedes have been around for a little while, but there are a couple in particular that I'm waiting for before I buy one of those, but that will happen in the future. But that's sort of what's delayed me on talking about 2020 cars. The AlphaTauri was not different at all from preseason testing, so I jumped on that one pretty early. Taking a look now at the McLaren, just my second McLaren diecast. The reason for that is I have never really been fond of the McLaren anything, really. The livery, ever since I started watching F1 back in 2016, the McLaren, it sucked. 2016 McLaren is a terrible looking car. 2017 wasn't that great. 2018 was terrible. The only reason I have that Fernando Alonso in the back is because it had those additional colors on it, and I was trying to get all the 2018 cars at the time. 2019 was pretty good, but I think with 2020 they really hit it out of the park with this car. Their driver lineup wasn't really interesting until 2019 either. Like, sorry, Fernando Alonso and freaking Stoffel Van Dorn, but I mean, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, definitely a little bit more interesting, at least to me. I showed the front wing, but I didn't really talk about it. We've got a matte orange paint for the orange, but then glossy blue and black, which is pretty nice. I really like the matte orange. I feel like we don't get matte cars quite often, cars with a matte finish. And I always think that looks better on the cars, so that is really nice that we got that. Obviously, Minichamps suspension, really good detail on that, and the tires I think are fantastic. I'm going to show better pictures of some of the stuff here, because it's really hard to do it in video, but the tires, the detail on the tires are just really good. It's really, really good on the Minichamps cars, and that's why they are the best, but also expensive as hell. Couple more sponsors down here by the barge boards. There's not actually even a whole lot of detail for the barge boards. I'm gonna have to show a picture of this, but it's a pretty simple little bit of barge boards. Of course, this is from Austria, which is more of a power track, so they don't really need a whole lot of it. Down here to the monocoque and just the general rear end of the car, we got CNBC for some reason, Aero, Splunk, which I have no idea what that is, Dark Trace, and Renault. Of course, this was a Renault powered car. We'll talk about the engine power in a sec. One thing this car is missing, and you may have noticed it's missing on the end plates, it's missing on the front wing, and it's missing in these two areas right here, is Velo. The Velo sponsorship, which is a tobacco-less nicotine pouch, which they can't put on the car for some reason. It even says it on the back of the box that they can't put tobacco sponsors. Well, there's no tobacco. I guess I don't know a whole lot about those substances, but I always thought tobacco was the thing that killed you, and nicotine was just like really addictive. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong. Nicotine, I mean, if it's good as hell, of course it's going to be addictive. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, like, I feel like the sponsor could have gone on this car. It's not even really meant for kids anyway, but I think it's ages 14 plus, so that kind of makes sense, I guess. Driver detail, incredible driver detail on this car. Like always with the Minichamps, it's amazing the detail they put in something you wouldn't really hardly see at all, but they do it. We got Dell Technologies and the number 4 here. I really like the blue that they put up here and here. I really think it's this bit of blue that really got me, because this blue was kind of here in 2018. A little, not really. It's more on the shark fin, but I think that's really what brought this car out for me, the little bits of blue. The 2019 IndyCar had it. That Fernando Alonso DNQ'd the Indy 500 in. I always liked that car. I always thought that was the best modern McLaren looking car, so I'm glad they've topped it here. Got the rear wing here, Husky Chocolate. I like the red on that. And of course the sponsors on the rear wing. I'm going to have to show a picture of this too, because the detail is just really good on the exhaust and whatnot, and always looks good. We got a little bit of silver. I don't know what that is, but a little piece of suspension or something down there. Incredible detail on these cars as always. I mean, that's unfortunate about doing these reviews. It's always just, the detail's incredible. It always looks so freaking good. I really don't get like a bad car that often. I like what they did with the mirrors here. It's a really interesting design. It's like attached to the car in 2 places. Very, very fragile, but it looks really cool. I don't think I have a car that the mirrors are attached like that at all in. Over to the bottom, pretty boring as always. It looks the same pretty much as all the other Minichamps I have. They still have the board detail. Spark doesn't anymore. It doesn't really matter because it's the bottom of the car. I doubt there's anyone who displays their F1 diecast with the bottom out. It just does not make any sense. If you display your F1 cars with the bottom out, leave a comment on telling me why you were wrong and what happened to you as a child. Yeah, so this is from the Austrian Grand Prix, Lando Norris's first ever F1 podium. I remember watching that race. It was a very good race. It almost felt kind of surreal because that was the first race after the pandemic started. I kind of didn't even believe that it was happening. Of course, he technically finished 4th. It's because Lewis Hamilton had that time penalty, but a podium's a podium no matter how you get it. And also, he just got his second podium in which he finished in 3rd on track. So that was really cool. I mean, 2020 was a great season, but like 2021 so far, that shit's kicking ass. So I'm really, really excited about F1 2021, the season, not really the game. Well, the game looks interesting too, but I am super excited. And Lando Norris is a very interesting driver. I rate him pretty highly. He's not my favorite driver, but I really don't have a favorite driver right now since they They wiped Kvyat off the floor. Ugh, rip, bro, rip. Play taps. Google. I don't fucking know. That joke wasn't fully baked before I made it, but whatever. What I will do very quickly is compare this to the other McLaren I have, because I did talk about it, and I usually like to do comparisons between these two cars. I will admit, the 2018 McLaren is a little bit more interesting, specifically with the front wing. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on there. But in terms of a color, I mean, on the camera, it doesn't even look orange. It looks yellow. It is orange, but this orange is just way better than the papaya, whatever the hell is going on thing. I definitely don't hate this Fernando Alonso car, but I think the 2018 McLaren is just very not interesting at all. It's usually just one color. Like, there's a little bit of blue on it, but they mixed it in so much better on this car. I didn't even talk about the Renault engine. I was a little worried that McLaren were gonna be very uncompetitive in 2021 because they were racing a car that was built to run the Renault engine, but it's running a Mercedes engine. But clearly that is not been a problem, at least so far. There have been times in the past, like with Renault in 2016, where they basically ran the 2015 Lotus car. It sucked, and it was a car built from the Mercedes engine, and it ran Renault. But that was also a year-old car in a year where everyone built new cars. 2021 is a year where everybody's running year-old cars, essentially. So it doesn't really affect them that much, and they seem to have gotten a jump on quite a few of their competitors. I do like the detail right here on this car. I never really noticed that. It's been a long time since I've really properly looked at this car. Really, since the video, I haven't given it a good look. Yeah, you know, not a bad car. McLaren 2018, pretty bad team. I say it all the time. I like the back markers. I like the little teams that could. McLaren from 2016 to 2018 was the big team that couldn't. I always thought they should be doing a lot better than they were, so I wasn't really interested in them because they were sucking and shouldn't have. But now they are good, and now I am very excited about the future for McLaren because I think they could win in 2021. It would probably be a race that Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have trouble in. They probably aren't going to win on flat-out pace. But if you're in that position, that's really good. That's really good, especially for McLaren where they've been. And also next year, like, who knows? Next year they could be able to win on flat-out pace. I'm really happy that the pack seems to be closing up just a little bit because it's been a very, very difficult time to be an F1 fan in recent years when you only got like 2 cars that can win. So it's very, very cool this season and the last one that is all happening. And I think it's generating a little bit of hype for F1, which is good because it is the motorsport. But anyway, that is all I have to say about the McLaren MCL35 driven by Lando Norris. This will probably not be the last Lando Norris car I get, so look forward to that in the future. It's probably going to be a while before a 2021 diecast comes out, but you never know. So thank you guys for watching this video. Summer is here, so there will be more videos a lot more frequently than they have been up to this point this year. So look forward to that. I don't know what cars I'm going to get next. I don't know what's going to be next. I'm going to try to finish the Drunk F1 thing just because I really want to at least finish it, even if it's not really getting the views I had hoped it would. But I mean, it's still doing pretty good. And I got more of those weird bullshit videos like the last video I uploaded. So got a lot of stuff to come this summer. It's gonna be huge. The summer's gonna be the one to remember. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.